I want to talk to you about a silent battle that many men face. These battles, these hidden battles, can be addictions, can be dark secrets of trauma and abuse. And for that, I want to look at two men in the Bible who are leaders. One by the name of Samson, who kept his battles hidden and eventually fell and took everyone down with him. The second leader, King David, who, when he was just a shepherd boy, God helped him defeat lions and bears, and he confessed his battles, and he told everyone how he did it and gave God the glory. The result is he rose to victory. So I want to tell you that there is something that can help you break those chains of addiction in your life. I'm also going to show you at the very end of this video the necessary steps to take to live a life, a God-promised life full of freedom and victory over any struggle you may be facing right now. Now, I want to talk to men right now about a common enemy, and that, my brothers, is the spirit of lust. Now, I want to talk about the silent battle with this common enemy and the consequences of keeping this battle hidden. So for that, we have to look at the story of Samson. And I just want to give you one scene specifically where you can see the effect of the spirit of lust in a man's life who keeps his battles hidden. Now in Judges chapter 14, it says that Samson, he was walking along the way. All of a sudden, a lion ran towards him to attack him. But it says that the Spirit of the Lord came over Samson powerfully, and with his bare hands, he grabbed his lion and tore it apart. But I really want you to pay attention, because this is the most important part of this. It says in verse 6, but he did not tell his father or his mother what he had done. Samson didn't tell his closest ones the struggle that just happened and how his life could have been destroyed and how God supernaturally gave him victory. So even with God giving him that victory, eventually he's walking along and finds himself in the same place, in the same location where God had given him the victory over this lion. And it says that he turns around and he sees the lion, he sees the carcass of the lion, but inside there was a swarm of bees with honey. Now you must know this, that Samson had a vow, and his vow was to not touch any unclean thing. That was his vow to God. This was a principle that he had to keep and hold. However, him seeing the honey, it says that carelessly, he just went, scooped it up, he ate it, and went along the way. Then he met up with his parents, offered them some honey, but didn't tell them where the honey came from, causing them to be contaminated. What I need you to understand is this, that the honey in the lion represents temptation. It's the spirit of lust. You can clearly see in Proverbs chapter 5, verse 3, it says, for the lips of an immoral woman drip honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil. And we all know how she is in the end. She's as bitter as wormwood. Chapter 7, verse 26 says this, for she has cast down many wounded, and all who were slain by her were strong men. For those of us familiar with the story of Samson, we all know his end result. He eventually fell. It was a life that consisted of many things, but one of those major things was that he kept his battles hidden, like the one with the young lion. So Samson, by the temptation of the sweetness of the honey, touched the unclean, dead body of the lion, therefore breaking his vow, his covenant with God. And so how many men do that today? How many men cheat on their wives because of the temptation of a co-worker always constantly flirting, calling your name? Or how many men just don't want to get married because they love the sweetness of fornication and all the women you can conquer and sleep with? Or how many men love the sweetness of pornography that it provides, but not knowing that it's inside an unclean thing? What you are watching on the screen might seem like honey, but in the end, what's behind it is a lion ready to devour your life. There is something that happens afterwards When a man falls and gives into the spirit of lust, there is a bitterness that comes along with it. There is a shame, there's a guilt. Therefore, then man's emotions are running rampant. We don't know how to control our emotions, and it's because we have given over our body, our mind, our heart, and our soul to the spirit of lust. So therefore, it has control over you now, and you no longer don't. These are the contaminating parts of what the spirit of lust brings. And I'm here to tell you that it does not only affect you, but sin has a ripple effect because it affects all of those around you. If you're full of shame, everyone around you can sense that shame. You might seem depressed or you might get angry. Everyone can feel what's flowing out of you. So it not only impacts us, but it impacts those closest to us. We don't feel worthy enough to have intimacy with our wives anymore. Then we're lashing out on our kids because we feel guilty. Samson only cared about himself because he did not tell his parents where this honey was coming from. And that's the same thing with us men, is that we're struggling, but we don't tell anyone, those closest around us, what is really happening to us, where this lack of control is coming from. So what happens? Eventually, look, no peace follows Samson. War breaks out on Samson eventually, and his whole family is destroyed. So that's how it is with men, is that we do not have peace when we're given over to this lion, this spirit of lust. No peace follows. There is war happening internally at all times. We don't know how to control our emotions. We don't know how to control our thoughts. Have you asked yourself if this hidden struggle is affecting anyone around you? Now, there's good news, because I want to offer you the solution. And we're going to keep it very practical. And that's two things. That's the power that there is in confession and accountability. Two things that a lot of men don't like. Let's be honest. Now, let's look at King David. So you might be telling yourself, well, I just don't see how I can overcome this addiction. You know, you might feel as if there's no way. 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 33. Look at what Saul said to David. King Saul at this time told him, "You are not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for you are a youth, and he a man of war from his youth." You will have those thoughts that come to you that tell you you're just not going to overcome this thing. But I need you to pay close attention. David says, "For your servant used to keep his father's sheep. And when a lion or a bear came and took a lamb out of the flock, I went out after it, struck it, delivered the lamb from its mouth, and when it rose against me, I caught it by its beard and struck and killed it. Your servant has killed both lion and bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine will be like one of them." So David didn't keep his struggles hidden. So he tells King Saul how he defeated those lions and bears while tending his sheep. So what confession did for David was it gave him confidence and empowered him to fight bigger battles. When we look at Samson and his character and his heart, it was all about him. When we keep our struggles hidden, in essence, what we are saying, it's, I don't want other people to think of me less than what I am. But see, David, his heart was for others because he cared about his family, because he cared about his flock. Unlike Samson, who contaminated his family, David protected his family from harm, and that was by not hiding the truth. David understood that acknowledging God's victory in his life was not just for his own strength, but to bring glory to God and help those around him. Samson, on the other hand, in chapter 14 of Judges, it said that he would give people riddles. So he kept secrets to protect himself. He didn't share the truth about his struggles, but he kept them hidden, which eventually would lead to his destruction. I'm telling you, when you keep your struggles hidden to yourself, you're not just risking your own downfall, but the downfall of those you care about. Confession and accountability are the keys to breaking free from that silent battle. What if you stopped keeping secrets? What if you started sharing the victories and the defeats with the right people in your life? Imagine the freedom, the peace, the strength that comes when you choose confession over silence. It's time to break the silence and embrace accountability. I need to ask you, are you ready to stop hiding your struggles and start sharing them? Are you willing to open up and let others in so that God can help you, heal you, and strengthen you? And I'm going to tell you how. Step one is you need to find someone you trust, whether that's a friend, a mentor, or an accountability partner that you can share your struggles with. Step two is stop keeping secrets. Start confessing your battles and give God the glory for your victories. Speak them to the right people. God will bring them to you. Step three is ask God to give you courage to be transparent and invite other people into your journey of overcoming temptation to those addictions. Listen, your silence can destroy you, but not just you, even those whom you love. It's time to break free from the chains of secrecy, and it's time to step into the freedom that there is in confession and accountability. It's time to stop fighting alone and invite God's victory into every area of your life. I want you to do this. I want you to share this video with someone you know needs to hear this. Remember, your battles are not meant to be fought alone. Confess, share, and give God glory through your victories. And share a victory, share a struggle, leave a comment. Let me know what God has done in your life. Other people need to hear it. I pray this video encouraged you. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell for more powerful insights to overcoming those battles with God's strength. It is not by might, nor by power, but by the Spirit of the Lord. Fight the good fight, finish the race, keep the faith. Till next time.